Welcome into Section 65, Episode 3. I'm your host, Clay Keaton, alongside my partner and good friend, Tanner Colson. We are 9 days away from SEC football. A big announcement from the Big Ten today. We're going to look at that. Going to talk about the Big 12 and how weak they looked last week. And also going to have two of my former teammates on, Kendrick and Thomas Edwards, two Tennessee former offensive linemen, are going to join us. So we're going to go over just what it's like to be an SEC football player, get their thoughts on what they think about the COVID college football season, and just kind of shoot the shit with them, tell some stories. It's going to be really interesting. And so with that being said, Tanner, let's get ready to roll.
Let's get after it. So, Clay, sports are back, dude. This might be the best time of the year, maybe of any year ever for sports.
Feels like Christmas.
Dude, we got NBA, NFL, hockey. The U.S. Open is this weekend. I don't know if there's ever been another time in history when we've got all these sports going at the same time.
It's an absolutely huge weekend. I mean, we can even get into a little bit of NFL talk today.
Nature is healing itself.
It's finally getting back to normal. And that's something that I'm really glad to see. I'm glad the Big Ten woke up. You know what? Welcome to the 2020 college football season for the Big Ten Conference. Yeah. Let's give them a round of applause for finally waking up.
For doing what they should have done 3 weeks ago.
The Big Ten is awake, and you know, I enjoyed shitting on them there for a couple weeks, but I think it's a good thing. I think it's good. I like watching Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan. I do. I mean, I hate on them, but it's good for college football. So,
well, let's be real. It's an every year tradition watching to see who Ohio State's going to lose to in the playoffs. I mean, it doesn't feel like the playoffs without that, you know?
Correct. That's correct. What's going on in the Big 12? Arkansas State goes to Kansas State and wins. Louisiana goes to Iowa State and wins. Coastal Carolina, a Division I AA squad, goes to Kansas and beats Les Miles.
Les Miles of all people. Like, if this was Kansas before Les Miles, that would just be classic Kansas. But I hold Les Miles as like he's a real football coach. Like,
it's pretty unbelievable to me that there was a line in college football between between a Big 12 Power 5 school and an FCS school. Kansas was only favored by 6 points. I mean, are they that bad out there?
Dude, I don't watch a lot of Kansas football. I
don't think anybody does.
Their basketball is pretty good, but I mean, I think the fact that they were giving up less than a touchdown at home to Coastal Carolina University. They paid Coastal Carolina probably like $200,000-$300,000 to come in and beat their ass. Like, Coastal Carolina is, I think they're FCS. I don't even know.
They are. They're
like 1AA or something like that. I don't even know. They might play like Alcorn State or something. I don't know.
They're D1 AA. And that's exactly what they are. They do play teams like that. It's unbelievable that it's like an App State thing, really. I mean,
I don't know. Then you got Arkansas State and Kansas State, who, you know, Kansas State is not this powerhouse program, but they're no Kansas, you know.
Well,
they're not fucking Kansas out there.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more from them. Props to Arkansas State. Arkansas State's not a bad program.
No, they're good for what they are, no doubt.
And I like that coach is the coach whose wife passed away from cancer, I'm pretty sure. So it's nice. I'm sure that was a really big morale boost for that program. All around.
Oh yeah, I actually have a friend. I think he's actually on this podcast that was dumb enough to bet on Iowa State against Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns. Do you have anything to say about that, Clay?
I mean, Iowa State was ranked number 23 in the country. I thought it was lock. I mean, I had -12. I thought I was good with it. I even cleared it with Keeler.
Oh, okay. If Keeler approved, I mean, dude, if I were to look at it, when you told me you were doing that, I was all for it. I almost followed you. I almost tailed you into the abyss with that bet, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, not off to a great start, but we'll get it rolling.
Yeah, but between Navy and Iowa State right now, I don't know how
Navy, that was bad.
It might be about time to start fading Keaton to any listeners out there.
We'll be having on some of our gambling experts who are really going to help us out. But let's talk about really quick how's it going to work with the Big Ten only playing 8 games? What are the qualifications going to be for 8-0 Ohio State and 10-0 Alabama and 10-0 Oklahoma?
Well, I've got a theory. I have a hard time believing that the SEC is going to have an undefeated team this year. I just have a hard time thinking that's going to happen. I think that with this all SEC schedule, you're adding 2 teams. I think if anything, it kind of almost gives an SEC team more leeway as far as 8-2, 9-1, something like that. I think they could still probably sneak in with, let's be real. It's going to be Ohio State. The schedules obviously haven't been shaken out yet, but I think it's got to be Ohio State.
I need to dig deeper. Penn State was a great squad last year, and hey, even Minnesota last year was top 10.
That's true. I'll row that boat.
I will too.
I like PJ Fleck. I've liked him since Western Michigan.
I'm on the PJ Fleck train as well. Bill Hancock, the chairman of the college football playoff, said it's probably still a little too early. Too early to tell. How they're gonna look at all that, but it will be very interesting to see.
I think you might just have to leave them out. I almost think
that's what I was about to say. Although the ACC, Clemson's gonna be.
Well, Clemson plays one of those games pretty much every week.
I don't think that we'll see a line for Clemson that's under maybe 25.
No, if Clemson doesn't waltz their way to the playoffs again, just like they do every year, that would be probably one of the. I hate Clemson with every fiber of my being, but I might be down to bet on Clemson to go undefeated this year.
Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet. I'm not a huge Clemson guy either, but I unfortunately do think they're probably the best team in college football.
They got Trevor Lawrence, they got Dabo, who has Jesus on his side. They've got pretty much everything you need. And Florida State, what's the second best program in the ACC? Florida State, UNC?
Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame, I guess, but they looked pretty rough last weekend.
Who'd they play?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember it was a game for a while. We'd have to look that up. But
it was Duke. It was Duke.
Oh, yeah, they played Duke. And what was the score? You got it? I'll look it up. But I have a hard time thinking that they're going to be able to work, Clemson over. You remember what happened when they played in the playoffs, man?
It was 27-13, so not a bad, not too bad.
The Duke quarterback is the old Clemson quarterback, right? Their backup, it's Bryce, something like that.
I don't know, Mr. ACC. That's all you.
Oh, you're right. This is an SEC podcast. We'll stick to what we know. But as far as the implications of the Big Ten coming back with 8 games, are they just going to play only their division or something like that, like their side of the conference?
Isn't there 16 teams in the Big Ten?
No, there's 12. So it's weird. There's 12 teams in the Big Ten and 10 teams in the Big 12. And then the ACC and the SEC both have 14, I think. I think ACC's got 15 this year with Notre Dame.
Big Ten has 14.
Oh, my fault.
You're forgetting about Rutgers and Maryland.
Well, all right. So they have 12 real teams, but that's kind of been my way to remember that for a while. So I guess I should probably fix that.
Kirby Smart came out today. They still don't have a starting quarterback in Athens. They're waiting on JT Daniels to get cleared from that ACL injury last year. That's who I expect to start for Georgia, as long as he's healthy.
Well, with no Jamie Newman, I kind of was on the train for a little bit there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we'll definitely need to talk about this, and we'll definitely be able to get more into it once the season gets rolling. But, taking a look at the quarterbacks in the SEC this year, I think Kellen Mond is probably the best quarterback. At least preseason. We'll see how he does, in the games. But
I mean, he's been around. I feel like he's been the quarterback there for like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen Mond. And another guy, I think I hate to say this, but Terry Wilson at Kentucky is dangerous, my friend. And if he stays healthy, I think the Cats can maybe do some damage. And then in Alabama, it's Mac Jones' job to lose. Bryce Young, the freshman 5-star phenom, obviously will be gunning for that job. And I think after what we saw from Mac Jones last year, I won't be surprised if Saban kind of throws them both in. But Saban's not going to come out and say much about his quarterback situation.
No, I think whoever's playing him week one, you know who they got? I think they're just going to find out when they get on the field, man. I think I heard that or some schools aren't even releasing COVID numbers. I want to say like A&M came out and was like, we're not even going to tell it was Oklahoma said they weren't even going to report like COVID numbers because it would give everyone else an advantage. So I think it's kind of one of those coach moves where we're just going to find out week one who plays what.
Bama plays Missouri. Coach O came out and said that they've all had COVID. They're not worried about it. They've all had it. They've all beat it. And they're good to go down in Baton Rouge. They're ready to go. They've all had it. They're all immune. They've developed herd immunity down in Baton Rouge. There's no COVID on the LSU football team. Coach O says we've all had it. We've all beat
LSU and Clemson are ahead of the curve this season. They've just all their players have been infected by a week out from the season.
LSU, the first team to have a complete COVID infection of the entire team. That's hilarious. Obviously, I don't know if Coach O's. Who knows what Coach O.
I think there's definitely some kind of a strategic advantage to that. But
we've all had COVID. We've all had COVID down here.
There's no room for racism, no room for COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's one thing I know, it's that COVID doesn't stand a chance against Coach O. I mean, the guy drinks like 6 Red Bulls a day. He runs at noon every day because to fight the sun or something like that, embrace the sun in the hottest part of America. I mean, I don't think anything's stopping that. I mean, I know they've had all these opt-outs, but I might have to turn a corner on LSU. They have that advantage this year.
Some guys are coming back in, though. Some guys are opting back in, which is interesting. But
I saw the Big Ten had a bunch of opt-ins again too. I think they'll probably end up getting a lot of people back now that they got a season going.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
As far as my quarterbacks in the SEC, I'm not going to take the ones that you already took, but I like that Bo Nix guy down in Auburn, dude.
Bo Nix is a good guy. Also, Plumlee down in Oxford. They're looking to have a lot of good stuff out of him.
Oh yeah, he's freaky. I heard he's an athlete.
Yeah, freak athlete. And then obviously Kyle Trask at Florida will be good.
Kyle Trask kind of the trendy pick, though, I feel like, to be the guy this year. I think almost so many people are on him that I feel like I got to get off.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely get off a Gator any chance I can get.
Yeah, I'm all in on Bo Nix. I love the Auburn kid. His dad was the quarterback. I mean, I can get behind that. He's in the West, too. I don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But Bo Nix – it's a good story to get behind for sure. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm all about a good story.
Hey, I don't even care what happens out there, man. Whatever, I cheer for stories. I'm a story.
Yeah. Well, and we're gonna have a lot of great stories when Thomas and Brett join us. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit of my tape. We're gonna get into some stories, some things that went on while we were all on the team, and I'm sure they'll have some good stories. Thomas and I used to really get into it on scout team. It was really interesting. He used to get really mad at me, but once he kind of realized that I was just, a shitbagger.
Just a humble walk-up. You were a camp body.
Yeah, just a body out there.
A nice warm body for
it's a privilege to play SEC football, man. It's a privilege. Alvin used to say, "Hey, it's a blessing to be out here, man." And I'm like,
yeah, it's easy when you're going in the second round, probably to say that.
Alvin, I'm glad that you feel that way. I mean, I remember not being able to finish my first conditioning drill, and Alvin coming up to me and saying, like, "It's an honor and a privilege to be here, man. Like, you need to finish the drills." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm tired." Like, I was like, "I'll finish it," but like, I'm out of shape. Like, and then
I'm hurting.
Once I got in shape, I was fine. But it'll be interesting. Some really funny stories Brett and Thomas will have for us. So it'll be a really fun discussion with them. We'll also talk about, ask them some questions, coolest place they went, best player they went against, things like that. Brett saw a lot of snaps, definitely more than Thomas and I. Obviously, I saw 0. Thomas, I don't know. Thomas maybe saw a couple hundred. But
I mean, all I'm saying is if Keeler got out on the field, I mean, all right.
Well, yeah. Keeler was he was a secret weapon.
He's got the mind of a coach, but the body of a player.
Yeah, let's just go with that.
All right, let's get to that interview with Brett Kendrick and Thomas Edwards.
Showtime. Joining us now, former Tennessee offensive lineman Brett Kendrick and Thomas Edwards. Brett, Thomas, how's it going?
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Break down.
All right.
To have you boys on.
What's good? What's good, Clay? Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Clay.
Yeah, how's it going? How's everybody's day been? Everybody have a good day. Brett, how was work?
Phenomenal. A little knee scope here.
Had to delay the
there.
start time. Thomas had to go to a what was it, Tom? Luxury dinner? I mean, how was it?
And
Oh,
I
it was
had
tasty.
a softball game.
So
How was that, Brett? What was the score?
You got run ruled 16-3.
You
got
did?
run ruled.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys.
Who are you playing?
I don't know, man, but they've been playing softball for too long.
Yeah, you don't really have it anymore, man.
I'm still better at basketball than you.
Than me.
Yeah.
Even after the knee scope.
It's so funny. Brett actually.
Anyway, I don't think Brett actually got the knee scopes today.
Brett's actually
Ooh, floating head.
he's older than me, but I'd say he's kind of in my shadow in Knoxville.
Boys, before we get into this real quick, give yourselves a little introduction, whatever you
Yeah, let's give ourselves a little intro.
Let's let the audience know who we're talking to.
Etiquette. I'll go first. Sorry about that, guys. I'll look right in the camera. As you can see here, I'm in a nice amber skyline. Amber is the wrong word. I would use rose. My name is Thomas Edwards. I am a former Tennessee Volunteers football offensive lineman. Went to the University of Tennessee from 2013 to 2017, 5-year span. Didn't take me 5 years to graduate. Clay, don't write that one down.
That's right, Clay's on the same path.
Thanks for that.
Loved every second of my time at Tennessee. I can't tell you one bad thing about it. The school. The school is the greatest place on earth. It means the world to me.
What about the football program?
I love the football program. I love everything about the school.
Would you call yourself a Vol for life?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Would you get a tattoo about 7 inches tall and like 4 inches wide on your upper thigh? Would you be willing to do something like that?
Great question, Tanner. I appreciate it. And also, I knew that you were alluding to Clay, who has a massive power T on his thigh.
I've actually, yeah. Nobody. I mean, I haven't mentioned that in the show yet. I mean, I probably need to stand up and show it now.
Yeah, I think you show it now, bud.
Let me preface it, though. Do you like Tennessee? This is rhetorical. Don't answer it. This is for the crowd. Do you like Tennessee? Do you like Tennessee as much as Clay Keaton does? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clay Keaton's thigh tattoo of a power T. Let's go! Yeah!
Oh my God, it looks better every time
Real.
I see it.
Oh, man.
That looks like Texas orange now, bud.
Yeah, whatever. It'll fade. It'll
Gotta
fade.
get that touched up.
Oh, I got to finish my bio. Okay.
Sorry, Thomas.
So I went to Tennessee. It was a great time. Love everything about it. Me personally, I grew up in East Tennessee, city of Kingsport. Love that too. Had a great family. Instilled some great values in me. Learned to play a lot of music. Still play a lot of music. Like to get funky.
I still pass out music.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Brett loves music as well. The music that I play for him. Yeah. He still calls me once a week on Thursdays around 8:30 Eastern. I just play him a little something before he goes to sleep. But I love where I do now. I work for the Tractor Supply Company. This is a new unreleased hat. You can't see it because now there we go.
There we go.
Work for Tractor Supply Company. Love what I do there in the supply chain there, just chaining, supplying. Live in Nashville. And I like to party.
What about you, Brett?
Yeah. Let's hear the Kendrick bio.
All right. I grew up right down the street from Clay.
Ooh,
Everybody said that he was like a mini-me growing up, which kind of annoyed me. That's why I didn't like Clay when he first got to Tennessee. We went to the same high school for a while until I transferred to CAK.
Why'd you transfer?
Christian
I
Academy.
heard that was a
Knoxville.
rival too, by the way.
Hold up.
It was, and I actually transferred to CAK the day before Grace and CAK played.
Did you get to play that game?
My sophomore year. I did not. I had to sit
I
out.
think we
But
rewind.
But I was
you're like
accused
the
of-
original. You're like KD before KD, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
Transferred
was
to the
accused of-
rival to play your old school.
No, I
No
think
doubt.
I think it was just this town's only big enough for one of us kind of scenario. Clay
Yeah, and Clay beat
Brett
me out.
in one
Clay is the
building.
biggest kid I know.
Clay made Brett transfer.
He did. You heard it here first. But yeah, my coach at Grace, who was like my best friend's dad, told me I wasn't going to play till my senior year. Tough facts, man. So I had to get out of
He
there.
had a weird way of motivating people. I mean,
Yeah, it didn't work.
yeah. All right. See ya.
But maybe it did. So,
Motivates you get the hell out of there. I mean, I don't know anything
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
you know,
Nice
transferred to
move,
CAK.
Randy.
Transferred to CAK, played with Josh Smith and Charlie High and all them, and ended up at Tennessee along with Thomas. Funny little story about Thomas. Since none of us are sensitive here, I think we've told Thomas this before. We all hated Thomas in recruiting. Sorry, Thomas.
Oh, you told me this. You told me this story 5 times. Like 5 different people told me this. The first people to tell you they hate
I don't
you.
know what it is, man. We thought that he might have been a little over the top. He just comes off a little strong the first time you meet him.
Yeah.
And then
Brett,
we ended up
you're a
being-
big book by the cover guy, buddy. That's Thomas. I'm
Hey,
glad
let
to
him,
be.
it's cool, Clay. Let him finish. It's all right. Let the man speak. I want to hear what he has to say.
I'm
You
glad
gotta
I
at
wasn't
least-
the only one.
It's
Though.
got to be well-rounded. You can't just say, "Oh, I used to hate Thomas." You got to close the loop. You got to say, like,
I was
"Then I
gonna
started
close
liking
it.
him." Okay,
And then
close the loop.
He was my roommate for 3 years. And
Brett,
Thomas
that
is my
was great.
boy. I love Thomas.
I love Brett.
So
We
Anyway,
make out
so we-
all the time. It's crazy.
Every-
Cut that one. Cut that part out.
Yeah, please. Man,
Jesus Christ.
we'll cut that out for Brett's sake. Here.
What are you talking about? Look how
Um,
cute I am. Fuck. Let's go. All
No,
right, cut out.
that's actually hilarious. That Kendrick, Kendrick takes a lot of time to warm up to people. If he will automatically hate you no matter what the circumstances are, especially if you're coming to play for his Vols.
hate
Yeah,
you till you
I-
prove me otherwise.
You hold people to a
I-
high standard. I respect that, Brett.
Yeah, thank you. Can I
Yeah,
finish my bio, Clay? And
yeah,
Thomas?
Sorry, yeah,
I
are
wanna
you
hear
not
what Brett's
done?
got to say.
Absolutely.
Anyways, so yeah, I played 13 to 17. Like I said, a room with Thomas and a couple other guys on the football team, and we had a great time. I came around to liking Clay eventually while we were there together. And then started hating him too after I left. I was training in Cincinnati, and Clay moved into my room in my apartment without telling me and totally trashed it. I mean, like hundreds of dollars worth of trash. in my
Oh,
room.
that's ridiculous.
It
Like,
was
the
bad.
trash? Was the trash
$100
worth?
worth
Wait,
of
yeah.
trash or
Yeah. I was just about
But
to
like
ask that,
damage.
Tanner.
Damage.
okay.
Yeah.
I was
You
gonna
should have
say,
seen. You should have seen the
$100
bill. You
trash
should have seen the
worth of
bill
work.
that I just had to pay those bastards.
You were a slob, Clay. That's why. So
I've been to Knoxville a
let me
couple
finish
times.
my story.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I signed a little undrafted free agent deal with the Lions.
Ooh.
Didn't work out as planned. Got a couple more tryouts, never made it. Said football's not right for me. I suck.
Fuck it.
So no Clay. And now I do medical device sales in Knoxville. I love that too.
Well, that's pretty
So-
cool, Brett. How you said you tried out for a couple different teams after the Lions?
Yeah, the Bucks and the Steelers and the Redskins.
Hey man, you made it a lot further than I did, man. I'm 5'9", 160 pounds. Never played a snap in my life, brother.
Oh,
Yeah, I had
we
the
could
size
get you
on
to
it, for
200.
sure.
We could get you. You hang out with us for 6 months, you'll gain 40.
Oh,
pounds.
dude, I've hung out with Clay enough. If I was on his eating schedule, I'd be 200 in no time, brother.
Yeah, my mind is still
Yeah.
trained to eat like I'm on the football team. So I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
So would
Yeah.
you guys say that? Would you guys say that
after doing it?
after your careers kind of ended, would you guys say that you gained weight or you lost weight?
Let me answer. Like
Good
I got
question.
this one. I got
No,
this
I
one.
hear
got
both
this
with
one.
offensive linemen. I've seen
I
some
got
that
this
go
one.
way down, some that go way up.
All right, so listen to this. So I was a junior. We were Brett and I were close in the locker room, and we were sitting there. The times in the locker room are why you play football. I mean, there's some stuff in there you can't even explain it. I never will. It's the greatest time ever. Just 100 people. You go in there at 2 a.m. sometimes some person's just randomly in there working out. You go there at 10 a.m. There's 15 people in there doing 15 different things. And if you're a guy like me, you can just annoy them 15 different ways and talk to them all the time. So Brett and I were sitting in our lockers, and I said, Brett, after football, here's the plan. I'm going to creep up. I'm going to touch 400, and then I'm going to dive down, and I'm going to settle in the 275 range. And then after I touch 400, I'll be able to define myself and know what percentage I am now as fat versus muscle, because I'm pretty lean now. But once I get to 400, it'll be clear that I'm a fat ass, so I will be able to shed that off quickly and then go down to 275. Brett also agreed. So now, post-grad, here we are. We're on the come down. We're not going to talk about numbers. That's just your impression on the earth. That's just
Brett and I have actually started talking about working out before work in the mornings, but
you know what? That's the first step.
Seems like it gets pushed off every week. We decided to start next Monday.
Next week always sounds a little better.
Yeah, so that's the weight plan, man. Tanner, you got to go up, touch 4, settle at 275.
Wait,
some may never get to
4 to 275, like a 125-pound gap.
Oh, that's
400
easy,
pounds, yeah.
Well,
Brett,
when you gain that much weight, it kind of falls off.
Yeah, Brett and I can tell you can lose 10 pounds in about an hour and a half. If you really
how tall are you boys?
Oh,
5'8", 5'9".
I'm probably last time I checked, I'm still growing. I'm like 6'8". No, I'm just kidding. Brett, I've been around you in a while, bro. I'm huge. Like, look how huge I am in these woods. Like, you cannot.
You're taller than the trees.
All right, but
I'm the Iron Giant.
I'll Google it if I have to. I'll find.
Thomas is what? What are you, Tom? 6'4". Brett's about
6'5".
6'6". I'm about 6'8". How about that?
I'm a little taller than Clay. I'm a little taller than Clay.
So you swear to God.
Bro, we need to talk about the time where we saw Clay in high school, Brett. Remember we went to that game?
That Grace game?
I was on the field with you.
What game?
I don't know. It was irrelevant. It's probably some bullshit ass team that had like 20 people in their school. But
I'll never forget. Okay, so little context. I went to kind of a small Christian school. Brett also went there. He would have been a lifer until old Randy Dandy told him that he wasn't good enough to start for the Rams. But
he was right.
Yeah, but I'll never forget.
That kid better have gotten recruited.
I was outside in pre-practice, and Mahoney, I guess, was just in a good mood and wanted to work with me for some reason. And he was trying to help me get in a stance, and I just couldn't figure it out. And he just you know how he was. He just looked at me and goes, "What did y'all run in high school? The fucking wing tee?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that is exactly what we were in." And then,
you said, "Yes, I did run the wing tee."
Yeah. And then he was just like, "Get out, just get out, just go stand."
Quit wasting our damn time, Clay.
I didn't waste time.
No, hey, so correct me if I'm wrong. So Thomas, you walked on, and Brett, you were on scholarship.
Oh yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I was just curious. What do y'all think is like what are the big differences between kind of because you guys were roommates and good friends? Did you notice differences kind of in being a walk on versus a scholarship athlete?
For sure, man. Great question. So that's one thing that people really think there is a divide. Totally is a divide. There's a section of the locker room that just has coincidentally all the walk-ons in it.
Brett, you should just let Thomas take this one. Let Thomas take this one.
Hang on. No. That is for school start walk-ons. That's a little different.
No. We'll get both your sides.
Okay, here we go. So I would like to say that I was an advanced walk-on. You know, in any other. Yeah, oh yeah, that too, but not even that recruiting title, but
Thomas and Clay were the walk-ons that signed, that had a signing day.
I didn't have a signing day. That's bullshit.
Yes, you did. That is a lie, Clay.
I had a signing day for Campbell. I had a signing day for Campbell.
Oh, I forgot you were a Camel first. Sorry.
All right, sorry.
Thomas?
Where was I? What were we talking about?
Walk-ons.
Oh, sorry. All right, so I mean, I played. I traveled to games. I played at Kentucky. I played a bunch of games.
How many
More
snaps
than
you think you got, Tom?
I don't know, Brett. We played a good amount a couple times
Couple
together.
hundred, probably. Don't you think?
100 might be a
he's close.
strong word.
Yeah, probably a little
got
north
over
of
100.
100. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I played a lot more than that. I probably played in 10 games.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, like the walk-on question, yeah, that's a thing. But like, also, it's just about how you carry yourself. If you just think you're a bitch-ass walk-on, people are gonna treat you like a bitch-ass walk-on. You know, if you have
Thomas was
something.
always on the verge of getting a scholarship, though.
Yeah, true. And actually, in a
So-
lot of scenarios, I would have been on scholarship. Like usually, coaches that if you're going to away games, if you're touching the grass at an away game,
Yeah.
think about how much money is invested to a player to touch the grass at an away game.
So,
Yeah.
Thomas, do you think that if you were an out-of-state student, they probably would have given you a scholarship?
I think if I bitched a little more early on, I would have gotten one.
You're like, damn, I'm from like another state. Like,
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know, dude. I don't ever really think about it. You know, I feel like it is what it is. Like when I was there was times when I was so pissed I wasn't on scholarship, and then like really after you get done, like Brett's like.
I'll tell you what, since we're not sensitive here, Thomas had come home.
Oh, I was like, I'm gonna sue Tennessee.
Here we go. Here we go.
He's
Yeah.
Come home on the verge of tears, slams the door, like me and Dobbs and Dylan and Christian are sitting there, and like he's like, we're like, Thomas, what's wrong, bro? He's like, I should be on scholarship. Like, oh, here comes Thomas.
It was true though,
But
bro.
he should
I mean,
have.
for a little
I mean,
bit.
in his
Yeah.
defense, he was. I
Yeah.
mean, he was like a backup right guard for a while.
yeah,
So,
he was like a real role player. He had like a role
right.
on the
He
team.
had a role. That's why he was traveling because he was.
I
a
had like
backup,
5 or
so.
6 rolls every away game at dinner on Friday.
All right, Brett. What would you say was kind of your difference as far as like you know what you maybe noticed living with Thomas as far as like being a walk-on versus like you were what like were you like a 3-star or 4-star?
Yeah, Brett, tell us about the life of luxury that you lived.
Yeah, tell us, Brett.
So I'm a
Brett, can you
Gamecock
spell
guy, but I
developmental?
worked in Knoxville for like a whole summer last summer. I worked in the athletics department. Like I was eating at Smokies. I was going to the athletic facilities. I worked
Yeah.
at the basketball arena. So like I've seen all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I kind of know a little bit of the ins and outs of Tennessee. And I know that, you know, I've ran into what's his name? Pruitt. I've ran into him recruiting kids down at what's the place on the river called? The dinner place.
Calhoun's.
Yeah, Calhoun's. Like
McDonald's.
I've seen all the insides of it. Like it seems like a different life probably than, you know, what Clay and Keeler have kind of been through.
Yeah, before Brett answers that, I just want to say that as a walk-on, you do still have a game day. Brett doesn't know. Brett, did you ever have to do those developmental lifts, Brett?
Yeah, I had to do developmental lifts. Are you kidding me? My redshirt freshman year,
All right.
The worst things ever. Let's
dude.
Yeah, we'll get
you
into
couldn't
that.
even walk.
answer the question, Brett. I
You
want to hear
couldn't
your
even walk
perception.
down the hill for the Vol walk. You were so sore.
We'll get into that.
I mean, obviously there's a difference in being a scholarship player and a walk-on. I mean, you like get more chances as a scholarship player. You can mess up way more in practice and still come back the next day and be a starter. Where sometimes the walk-ons have a pretty short leash there.
You got to kind of make the reps count.
Yeah, it's so
yeah.
true. It's just
You got one more day, Keaton. One more day.
Joke's on you though, Clay. It actually was your last day.
Yeah,
Hey,
we'll get to that
Brett,
later.
can we clarify though, like the different, just to go ahead and let the listeners and the viewers not get swayed, just a difference in ability between myself and Clay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay. That's like
Thomas's walk-on experience and Clay's walk-on experience is different by the sounds of it.
Tom, if you had my body, you'd be in the league, buddy.
let me tell you something.
That work ethic.
Not your hips, dude. You can't bend over to wipe.
They seriously, in the training room when I was having to do all that like cardio stuff and all that and all those tests, they said that I had the worst flexibility they'd ever seen.
I mean,
That's
Clay,
what
I've known you for about 3 years now, dude. You do have the worst flexibility I've ever seen.
Absolutely the stiffest human I've ever met. Clay, no doubt. Like we used to joke about stuff like, who do you think's the worst football player on the team? Clay could have been in the argument for it.
I think that's fair, but I also think that there was a lot of guys that were pretty shitty on the team that nobody liked. At least I was liked. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you were like, bro, the day that you quit and we put your brick above the tee, there was a lot of people taking videos of that.
That's
that
the gauge, man. That's the gauge right there.
So,
Your
Tanner, let me
brick above the
let
tee,
you in
what
on
does
this.
that
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know how
Explain
Butch
that.
had
Let the
Butch
viewers
had
know.
brick by brick, right?
Yeah.
So every year, like we'd be team 117 or team 118, you get a brick with your name on it and like the power tee. And so if you quit the team or got kicked off or something, we would take your brick and put it above the tee in the locker room for a day, just as like a sign of we remember you.
It's a memorial service kind of.
That sounds less respectful than you're trying to make it sound. That sounds kind
Well,
of
the team, the team
It
gathers
is,
around. We
'cause
play that.
90%
What's
of the
that
time when
song?
someone leaves, they're just a dick. And
Thomas, what's that song? Yeah. Yeah, we play that song, and everybody sits around there and mourns the loss of
The story
a
of
man.
the story of me quitting, Brett almost got me back on, but I left him high and dry. Literally one day I was like about to go to spring practice, and I was like trying to like get out of bed. My back was killing me, and I was just like, I don't want to do this shit anymore.
it's called quitting. It's called giving up.
I literally just walked in there, quit, told Mahoney, came back, laid in bed, felt great. And then I was like, maybe I should go back. So I texted Brett. You want to take it from there, Brett?
Clay texts me, and he's like, hey, man, I think I made a mistake. I want to come back. Like, my parents have been going through some stuff or something like that.
Yeah,
and
I was
like, I got a little emotional, all this stuff. So I stick my neck out.
Hey, I went
Clay.
through a tough breakup, man.
You did. I was there for that too.
Yeah.
So I stick my neck out for Clay. I go to Coach Mo's office. I'm like, hey, man, I need to talk to you. I'm like, Clay is like really sorry that he quit. Like, you know how he is, man. He just gets a little emotional sometimes. Like, he really wants to come back. He's like, okay, well, if he really wants to, then tell him to come back. So I get on Coach Mo's office. I'm like, dude, I got you. Like, you can come back. I'm like, just be here tomorrow morning. And Clay just never shows up again.
Oh my God.
He goes, nah, I'm good. Thanks, though.
We get into
He
the
went to
meetings.
bat for Clay, and Clay was just like, hey, thanks for that, but later. Like, he didn't even respond. He was just like,
he's like, where the hell's Clay at? And I'm like, I don't know. He said he was coming.
I remember I set my alarm and got up to come, and then I was like, nope.
They don't even want me.
Went back to bed.
So Clay, I know this isn't your interview, but did you feel it at practice? Were you kind of like, damn, like maybe I'm not quite of this like ilk, like maybe this isn't my level?
Yeah, I mean,
I wish we had some film.
Roll film.
Or was it just
Roll
guys
the
like
film.
Brett and Thomas that kind of spotted it out for you?
look, Brett Thomas would actually get like seriously mad at me to the point where like I was like, okay, I actually think Thomas wants to kill me.
Well, he didn't want to get confused with you as a walk-on. You guys
tell
were the
about some of
same
the
level,
stuff I used to
really.
do. No, that we weren't Tanner.
I mean, we would.
I'm not saying playing wise. I mean, like as walk-ons though. Like it's
Okay,
like,
let's just
probably like, what the hell is this guy's deal?
okay, let's just kind of throw this out there. So stiffest guy you've ever met.
Hang on, Clay.
Okay.
Can we just start out from the first day that you got there?
Okay.
So Mondays were our squat days.
I never squatted in high school.
Yeah, we can tell you can't even fucking bend over.
So we have our squat and then we have like
Hey,
our squat
somebody.
and like long distance run, which is not really long distance. It's a lap around the field. So first off, we get in there and get ready to
That's
squat.
the worst context you could ever describe fits
One lap.
as, but whatever, man.
That's what it was, a lap around the field.
Yeah,
Cut off
you're
the
in-
corners,
you're
it's a
in
lap
shape,
around the
buddy.
field.
Keep going.
So Clay walks in there and, they split us up into our groups at each rack. And Clay's like, yeah, I never squatted in high school. My knees are too bad. And so they're like, what do you want to do? And he's like, leg press.
Dumbbell
And
squats.
they're like, no, you're not doing that.
Can you get the
So
elastic bands for me?
Yeah,
So Clay ends up squatting. Anyways, we go outside to run. You do one lap at a time, and you have to make it in 60 seconds for the O-line.
And you got five trips.
Okay,
You have
that is
5
pretty
of
fast
them.
though. That's not like super slow. I mean, 60 seconds.
No, you have to run.
gotta
and
run.
It's harder
It was the
after
worst shit of
squats.
all time. It was hands
But
down the worst shit of all time.
No joke, Clay finished his first one in 3.5 minutes.
I literally couldn't move.
You could have gotten in like one of the little carts at Walmart and rode it around the field 2 times before Clay was finished.
Well, I mean, it's a cart at Walmart. I mean, it's got wheels. Clay does
Yeah,
not
but
have
the
wheels.
field
But it
is
still goes
grass.
like 3 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
saying is Clay
Alvin
was
Alvin came
you
up to
mean
me.
one of the handicap carts. I got you.
Yeah.
Alvin came up to me and was like, "Bro, it's really a privilege and honor to be here. Like, you really need to like do better." And I was just like, "Bro, I mean, I can't touch my toes. Like, I'm trying, but like,
Let me just say, I've known Clay for 3 years. I've never seen him go faster than a brisk walk, and I don't think it's anything to do with motivation. I think it's a struggle.
It's
No,
just,
yeah.
just physiologically,
he-
physiologically, it's just not possible, Tanner, for Clay to.
So
do
he had to
fast.
run 10 because he missed all 5 times that day. And I thought that was the end of him.
All right,
I
I'm
was
Hey,
so happy.
I almost
thought
feel like
we
we're
got rid of
ragging
him.
on
Brett, I lasted longer than you would have thought, Brett. Longer than
That's
you
what she
probably
said.
wanted me to.
That's what
I
she
liked
said.
you when you got there,
All right, let's not rag on Clay. I love
Yeah,
you,
sorry, Clay. I didn't mean.
No,
to,
I mean,
shouldn't
I
take
think
us
it's
down that
hilarious.
rabbit hole.
No, seriously, we would
So
be
what
like,
you guys
okay,
get for being
it's like
walk-ons,
Yeah, we're not sensitive here.
It's like period 17, okay? It's like the last scouts period of the day. Thomas is already pissed because he's over here in a black jersey, and, you know, he thinks he should be with y'all. So he's pissed off. And
You guys are
Barnett and
painting
them,
me as this angry man.
Barnett and them are going so hard, just messing us up. And I had a down block on Khalil, and I like completely just went straight to the backer. Didn't even touch Khalil. I was like, screw that. I can't move him.
Can you say
And
Khalil-
I'm pretty
Khalil
sure
Cook
like
for the
when
fans?
I did that, it totally screwed Thomas up. And I just remember getting back in the huddle and Thomas looking at me and he's just like, will you fucking do something? I was just like,
So
I
I
just
think
was literally like,
So it sounds like that's the big difference between Clay and Tom. Is like Thomas was like borderline scholarship. Clay was borderline.
There we go.
Slaying.
There we go. There
Yeah,
we go.
no,
It was borderline on the road.
Yeah, that's
Thomas
what I mean.
was
he
like, no.
borderline, like just a student.
Yeah.
Thomas
He
was like fighting for a
tinkering on the edge
scholarship.
of
I was
walk
just,
on and student.
Yeah, totally,
Thomas-
totally different levels of the walk-on spectrum.
yeah, Thomas was
Yeah.
fighting for a scholarship. I was just trying to run through the T for Oklahoma. That's all I cared about.
So there you go. There's the big answer. Some walk-ons are absolutely terrible, and some of them are like Thomas and can play.
Full circle. That's right.
you
Thank
guys
you.
ever-
Thanks
you
for
guys-
closing that loop.
It's pretty brutal, Brett.
All right, well, as
You
much
were
fun as
awful.
to rag on Clay, I could go all day, but I got a couple questions for y'all if you're down to get
Let's
into
go.
it.
Let's go,
Who
Tanner. I'm
is,
down.
so who's the best player you ever matched up against in game action? It could also be practice, I guess. But and then who's the best player like that you've played with on your own team?
All right, you want to go first, Brett? Or you want me to, I'll go first this time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, best person I've ever played with. Okay, or played against.
So against and with, yeah.
Hands down, Derek Barnett. Dude, he's a motherfucker.
Yeah, Tennessee.
He's so hard, and like Clay said, like there's like when Clay was at tackle and it was a pass play, like we were moving Clay over to the guard, and I was pass setting on him, and I'm
Block
not
that guy.
Yeah, not ragging on Clay. Okay, sorry, but anyway, but he for sure.
I can take-
Barnett was the hardest dude I ever played against. The best person I ever played with on a team. And Brett, if this is not Brett's answer, I'm gonna jump through the screen and slap him. Is Alvin Kamara, hands down.
Yeah.
The
That
way
seems
that
totally fair.
Yeah, and you could tell when the dude was in college, like he'd been to a big school already. He'd already been to Alabama. He already screwed up. He already went to JUCO. And by the time he gets to Tennessee, this dude's like, all right, it's game time.
So why was he behind? Was Jalen Hurd really showing out? Not to
for
slander
sure.
the guy or anything, but I mean, because he was the backup to Jalen, really, right?
Yeah, you
Let me
guys
tell
have to
you something.
realize. You have to
Jalen
realize,
Hurd was
Go
an
ahead.
absolute stud.
Yeah.
absolute stud. He's about to break the rushing record in 3 years.
He was
No-
a beast, bro.
Yeah, he
You
was
should have
good. I
heard some
remember.
of the
I
hits
was
that he
at
took.
University of South Carolina at the time, and I was a big Jalen Hurd fan. I knew Kamara
Bad
was
dude.
good, but
He was so good. I
So
mean, they
good.
could have been.
Hindsight's
I wouldn't really
20/20.
call Alvin his backup, though. I mean,
No, I would definitely
I
not
feel
call
like
him
they
back up.
well,
They
they were
both had
kind of
their
a
own
hand,
stuff.
hand in hand situation. But you know
Yeah.
what I mean, though, is on the depth chart. Because I remember I was
it
always
sure seemed that. Yeah,
I was always hearing about Alvin Kamara getting drafted, But Jalen Hurd, kind of week to week for a while there was kind of the guy. But Kamara would always show up really well when he was out there.
Alvin at Tennessee was a role player, and in the NFL he's a running back.
Yeah.
That's
But he's hands down, like his disposition, the way he carried himself, the way that like he would wear clothes that were just a brand that his friend made in Atlanta, and then he got everybody else to start wearing it. Local trap star or the little
coolest dude I've ever met, right, Thomas?
Coolest dude ever. By far.
The boy.
The cleanest guy ever. Shows up to the party, and the only people he's rolling with are Lady Vols basketball players. Like, who else can get away with that?
I'm a big lady.
I'm not ragging anyone on, but like no one is pulling up to like they're all like 4 girls taller than him. Like in like what it's like that's not what like you're in today's society and culture, you're not pulling up to the scene with 4 people that are taller than you dunk on you in the post, except for Alvin was really good at basketball. Cut that part out. I don't want to get any hate mail. I
could do that. I got you.
But no, it's true though. Like he was the coolest guy on the team, best athlete I've ever played with. The shit that he did off the field, the people he knew off the field, the coolest dude ever.
Yeah.
He used to have Migos in the locker room before games.
Yeah, it was insane. Like just I was
pull up
I
at
got
the hotel.
backstage of Migos. I was backstage of 2 Chainz, so many other people too, dude, like Young Thug, all because of him or Dobbs' connections with someone in Atlanta.
That's crazy.
Like they are so just cool. So there's cool guys.
Myles Garrett is the best player I ever played against.
Oh God!
I wish you could put this picture that I have or that I've like looked up. When somebody asked me one time, they were like, "Oh, who's that?" I'm like, "Hang on, let me find this picture."
Send it to me after the show. I'll try to like edit it in or something.
Okay. Oh, that'll be funny. Yeah.
It's like him at Pro Day, man, and he doesn't have a shirt on. Like, no lie, Myles Garrett ties his shoes standing straight up. Like his arms are literally that long. Like first possession, I come off the field and they're like, coaches are like, "How is he?" I'm like, "Well, I couldn't reach him when he stuck his arm out, but other than that, he was all right."
Well, I haven't blocked him yet.
I haven't made contact all day.
I haven't actually put my hands on him yet.
But whenever I do, I'll get back with you.
Yeah,
I think I pissed him off like the week of. I used to do media every Monday, the media asked me and said, "How do you think going up against Myles Garrett is going to be this week?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I go up against Derek Barnett every day in practice, so I'm not really worried."
And that's how you get your quote printed and put in someone's locker.
And then that is why you don't say that. Yeah. That's how you end up in somebody's locker.
Yeah,
I think I ended up in his locker.
But who are we taking in that? Are we taking Barnett or are we taking Myles?
Barnett.
I think it's got to be Barnett.
Yeah, look at the stats.
Barnett played with a different level of effort.
Look at the stats and look at this finger on his hand.
Yeah, Barnett was literally – the thing about Barnett, the reason that I couldn't block him is because he could somehow bend over and be over like this and still run full speed. He could still run full speed at a 90-degree angle.
His shoulder's like touching the ground.
It's like if you took a Lego figurine. If you had a Lego figurine and you took off the top half and just put it on the side and just ran it around. That's
exactly what he looked like.
He looks like that.
I think – that was Myles Garrett was mine. We played a lot of really good players, obviously. And then the best player on our team that I ever played with was Alvin. But I am going to say 2 people on defense and 1 on offense. Josh Dobbs was an absolute
phenomenal, phenomenal.
And I don't think people noticed how good he was until he left.
Phenomenal,
but
guy.
he was an absolute baller.
Well, I don't know how people in Tennessee felt, but I was in Columbia at the time, and we didn't like Josh because he was really good. Like we had, like it was always like we don't like this guy because he's good as hell. Like that was always my issue.
We realized at week 1 that Georgia Tech game, Q's first start. I mean, not to harp on him.
This is how I put it. Like when they show stats on the bottom left part of the screen and on SEC games, his name is going to be on those lists for like 15, 20 years.
Dude, no doubt.
Yeah, like he broke some stupid records that are just hidden, like ESPN records, but like they keep them and they talk about them. It's like, a 200-yard passing game, 200-yard rushing game, like those kind of stats. Like, dude, he's crushed it. He had so many games like that, but and he erased so many mistakes of an O-line that was not performing.
Yeah.
And for me and Brett to notice that and own up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on defense, though, A.J. Johnson was unreal. And then
He had
Jalen
12
Reeves
tackles the
Maben.
other day.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me. Jalen Reeves Maben.
Oh, his football intelligence is next level. Dude could read
Bro,
you and he was
some
so
of
fast.
the plays that he made.
Yeah. His reads are incredible. That's why he's still in the league.
There you go.
Is he still at the Lions?
Yeah. But he was a
He's getting to
stud.
play?
He was like, I don't know if Thigpen was telling him the calls or what, but Jalen when we played at Alabama, I guess it was my redshirt sophomore year. I mean, he probably had 40 tackles. I mean, he was literally everywhere.
He's on fire.
He got hurt though. That was
dude. We play with so many good people is a thing too. So many people.
Bro, I feel like RG was cold too.
Yeah, really good.
RG was cold.
Who's RG
really good
for the audience?
Rashawn Golden.
Well, I'm not gonna
we
lie.
had
I didn't
our
know
team.
either.
Our whole team
you're
was
cool.
really good.
I mean,
I
I don't
a lot of talent.
I say this a lot, but I think that if you think about the Tennessee teams the past 10 years, I mean, that 15 and 16 team was the best two teams that they've had.
No doubt. To
Right?
me, as an outsider, I would say for sure.
Going to class 5-0. Going to class 5-0 that season.
Oh yeah.
It was nothing mattered. Nothing mattered at all. And then the next week.
Then we ended up.
Here come the Gamecocks.
And then no, not even the game. Here comes all your fucking homework that you didn't do the past 4 weeks. Like you just got away with stuff.
Thornton's, yeah. Then that season ends with our best player on our team, Alvin, running out of bounds on 4th down.
It happens. It happens.
They don't get the yellow line that everyone else gets at home.
Yeah,
you just gotta make it up in your head.
Horse crap. Yeah.
You guys down for a couple rapid fire questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Put a name in front of them so we know who to answer.
Yeah, I'll be sure to. So I was curious, Brett. I couldn't help but notice that you're verified on Twitter. Does that make you a lot cooler than us, or does that kind of just feel normal? What's going on with that?
That's part of the scholarship thing, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Piss ant walk-ons don't get that.
Yeah. If any Tennessee recruits are listening right now, you'll be verified instantly.
You're verified in no time.
Oh, God.
So that started in college, or is that a new thing, or what's the deal?
No. That started in college.
It's when they thought he was going to go to the NFL.
He went to the NFL.
And then they're like, wait, this kid is trash. That was Mr. Football, though, Thomas.
You were? Guess what? $5 on the fucking ground.
That's probably how much my trophy cost.
That's cool, though. That's
all right. All right. So this one's for both of y'all. Clay wanted to know, what are your favorite and your least favorite teams like to go and play up against, like in games that you've been to?
Go ahead, Thomas.
Oh, best place I ever played at was Alabama for sure, because the buddy that I'm using his computer right now. This is his room. He went to Alabama and he sat in the student section 1 row above our entrance to our fans. So every time I ran out and ran back in, him and all his fraternity brothers, like a circle of like 15 people, all of them were just double birded me. They threw a water bottle at me one time.
Is that the game? Did you dress that game that we almost won?
Yeah.
Is that game?
Yeah, when we missed like 85 field goals, but that's cool. It happens. It's the win.
Yeah, Medley wants to be in the league.
Hey, I'm not slandering.
We're not throwing slander here.
We're not
throwing
throwing slander here, Clay.
Yeah, sorry. Loser.
Thomas, I know this sounds bad being Tennessee players, but like how cool is like Dixieland Delight?
It is cool. It's cool.
So cool.
It's
like we need something like that at Tennessee.
I really thought that y'all would say Texas A&M.
I'm a Cox guy, and I think Rocky Top is one of the best.
Oh, dude, South Carolina was.
We're talking about South Carolina.
Underwhelming,
gosh,
dude.
bro.
Underwhelming, dude.
Oh, you didn't like South Carolina,
dude? I love the.
Yeah.
But the stadium is open, so there's no volume
And
being trapped.
it's like a skeleton.
Every time-
volume being trapped. So it's
Every
not
time you
loud.
morons get a first down, you play that stupid. Oh my gosh, man!
That's the word.
And Butch
That's
would
it.
play that at practice
Oh,
nonstop
oh,
all
yeah.
week.
Carolina,
Chills.
first down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
that
another
so
South
Is
good.
it more like kind of a rah? How does it go?
Yeah, it's bad,
It's
dude.
annoying.
It's like at least the one that it was when I was there was like
Some crazy
Dude,
stuff.
I've been to a bunch of games there. It is irritating a little bit. I like 2001, and then I like the Sandstorm. But outside of that, I can totally side with what y'all are saying.
Bristol was my favorite place I played.
Oh.
That's got to be number one.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom.
Ooh.
Texas
I
A&M
was
is
actually
cool
injured.
too.
Yeah, what about Aggieland? I mean, how loud was it down there? Seriously, because I couldn't
So
hear in the
loud, dude.
stands.
It was pretty loud. Yeah, I mean, it was loud. That's 110,000 more
Yeah,
than
but-
Tennessee. But
here's my thing.
that
about
stadium's
A&M.
more open.
Yeah, here's my
It's
thing
so
about-
tall.
Here, let me go real
It's
quick.
it's not as loud because it's more open.
If you have a military school, that's a military school, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If you can force
A&M.
your fucking students to go to the game, how is it fair for anyone? You know, like you better make the fucking game at 6 a.m. tomorrow. You're gonna be, you know, like they're getting chewed out. Like, how is it fair? No wonder their stadium
They
is
do those weird little
130,000 or however
chants.
long.
They
it is.
get there at midnight the night before. It's
Yeah,
packed
and
the night
people like that's a
before.
great
Psychos.
tradition, dude. It's a military school. They get their ass whooped with a stick if they don't go.
What's that little
Yeah,
thing
I'm
they
going
do
to
their
bars.
dance? They like
Yeah, I know. It's cool stuff, though. I'm not knocking it at all. A great tradition, but like it's
The
not
worst
hard.
place-
It's not hard to get 115,000 people to come to a game if 40,000 of them are required to.
by the U.S. government.
That's a great point, Tom. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's why Army Navy games have people at them, and that's why people are like
Oh
excited.
my God, Tom.
That's pretty brutal, Tom.
It's the same thing.
Thomas is the worst place is obviously Vanderbilt.
Oh, it's awful. It was awful.
Van-
When we won and got bowl eligible for the Tax Slayer Bowl, that's a good
Dude.
memory in my head. That's when I think
Yeah,
of like
great
Vanderbilt
memory, man.
Stadium. I think about, oh shoot, we just got bowl eligible. We're 6-6. We're going to Jacksonville. I'm about to get some raise. I got a free TV. It was crazy.
I do
Kentucky's
kind of want
pretty
to.
bad too.
I kind of want to veer off though. I mean, I don't. I was talking in the first couple episodes. People don't really realize like the brutality of what this all SEC schedule is going to look like. I mean, I just kind of
Brutal.
hear like, especially from you, Brett. No offense, Thomas, but I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure.
people don't understand that there's a huge difference in the preparation and the level of. I mean, I guess the game speed overall between playing, UAB, and then playing, switching out. We got Texas A&M and Auburn this year.
Yeah, dude. Like, it's just like every week you never get a break. Like, say no offense to these people, like the guys playing at like Tennessee Tech and stuff, but like when we're playing a team like that, it's like, are we going to get out in the first, or like the starter's going to come out in the first or the second quarter?
Right.
And like all SEC schedule, you're not going to get that at all. I mean, it's going to be brutal 10 weeks with one bye week.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pruitt's just not going to like hit during practice during the season, but like,
It didn't work out very well for Navy the other day.
I mean,
Yeah,
you feel like you've been hit by a train every Sunday when you wake up after an SEC game.
Do you think a lot more teams are going to get caught kind of sleeping almost, like where they, like maybe?
I mean, you
more
easily
upsets are
could,
gonna
dude.
happen just because instead of kind of getting your like Chattanooga and your, UL Lafayette and all those sorts of things, you're just you're right back in. And even though Arkansas and all those schools aren't on that like upper
Right.
tier, they're still
But they're still
have
SEC
talent. Yeah.
They still have some SEC talent. I'm serious. Anybody could beat anybody this year. That's why Alabama goes and schedules all these candies that they play at the beginning of the year, and then they'll play like one in the middle of the year for homecoming. I mean, it's brutal.
Tough.
It is 10 games is going to be absolutely brutal.
I think too, like what people don't realize too, like canceling those non-conference games, and I've talked to y'all about this, I think already, but in the grand scheme of things, just screws up sports because there's so many sports that are not going to happen for probably like this whole year at hundreds of schools in America just because they didn't play that one game and get $1 million from Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, that's huge for those programs.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's why this all sucks. Like we can play football, but like you'll see the impact, or you probably won't see the impact because these sports never make it to like media anyway. It's like just random sports. But it's important that people can go play sports in college, and it sucks that those schools aren't going to be funded because you can't play that one game that's just give me the money kind of game
Right.
from that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I just am really worried about the health of everybody. I mean, I think you're gonna get hurt. Guys are gonna get hurt.
Yep.
Team week 1 roster versus week 8 is going to be out of 22 people, offense and defense. I'd say the average number of people that are going to be the same at the end. It'll be about 12 or 13.
That'd
That'd be impressive if it was. Though.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Wow.
That would be great.
You can't. It just doesn't work. It does not work. And here's the cycle, Brett. You back off at practice for 1 week. You win a game. You back off. Then you lose a game, a close game. Your coach is like, "Oh shoot, we got to practice with pads on. We got to practice with pads on." So you start off behind. You start off behind from day one, and you're catching up all week, practicing hard, and then you're just screwed again at the game. And then if you lose again, there's no telling what they do next.
Dude, going into a game and being like, my body still hurts, and I'm about to go play freaking 80 plays, it's a bad feeling. And then especially when you're playing offense and these D linemen are rotating in, playing Alabama,
I bet that was brutal,
bro. You play like 2
they
long
got 15
series.
people that are in the league
after
every
10
season.
plays. Yeah, after 10 plays, they bring another guy in that looks just like the other one, and then he's just fresh. And you're like, well, this is gonna be a rough 3 plays for me. Let's just get these 3 sacks over with.
They clone their positions. They form them to exactly what they want, and then it's just like a churn. It's like
IVF down there.
It's like you're on. It's like you're on one of those little water wheels, and when you get to the top, the bucket pours out. Like they're all just like, oh, that guy just got hurt. And it's just, and then the guy that gets hurt falls to the bottom, and then he fills back up in the water trough, and he comes back up, and then a year later he's redshirted, and he's bam, he's.
That is great. That's hilarious.
But that's what it is. They have it going on down there. They got the image at every position, and they just copy it.
Brett, I wanted to ask you, Tom, did you address the Hail Mary game or no?
No, I didn't go to that. I tore my labrum that year.
I mean, Brett, what was that play like?
Okay,
because you're in there. There's like a 3-man rush.
Are we talking about the loss to Florida, or are we talking about the win to Georgia?
Tanner, why would we talk about the lost Hail Mary to Florida? Fuck you.
I'm just curious. I saw you posted that video earlier.
That one was
that was a year ago.
Man.
That was 3 years ago today. No, we're talking about.
We were already talking about what if we were going to use silent count in overtime because we couldn't hear anything at Florida, and then they throw that Hail Mary, and it's like, oh, I guess I'll go take a shower.
Don't catch the chickens before they hatch.
All right. Sorry to bring up the bad Hail Mary. Let's talk about.
Okay, so the Georgia game. Let's just talk about how mad I was at our defense before that all happened. They threw the ball down our sideline, and I am not lying. Malik Foreman, I love Malik Foreman. He made probably my favorite play ever at Tennessee
A&M
against A&M. You could see Malik right in front of my eyes slow down, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, Eason is throwing it to my guy. And so they score, and I'm pissed at this point. We were undefeated, had a good year going. We had a great team. The defense comes off the field, and they're like, hey, man, have our back. I'm like, bro, there's 12 seconds left. What do you mean have your back? I was pissed at them.
What do you mean have
putting
your
their hand
back?
out. I'm just staring at them. I'm like, go sit on the bench, bro. Y'all are trash. So then – Evan makes a great return.
Well, they had that celebration penalty too.
They did. So they had the kick got moved back, didn't it?
Yeah, I think they kicked from the 10.
Evan has a great return and is paying attention to the clock, gets out of bounds, just enough time for us to run one play. So you practice Hail Mary on Fridays,
Oh yeah.
And but you never throw them. I mean, it's always a walkthrough, so you never throw them. So Dobbs doesn't throw Hail Marys a bunch. So we go out there. They call timeout. First off, we go out there. When they call timeout, we go back in the huddle. And Juwan Jennings grabs Coach Z, and he's like, put me at the point, man. He's like, put me at the point, man. I'll catch it. And Coach Z's like, okay, Kroom, you go over there. Juwan, you got it then. and we run back out there.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah.
No.
So Jawan told him, he said, put me at the point man. Like, that's not what we've ever practiced. We always put Jason Kroom out there because he was 6'6". And so he's like, put me at the point man. So then, I mean, that was – the rest of the play was unreal. Chance got really lucky that he didn't get beat. Chance Hall did. If Jack Jones wasn't in the game, we would have given up a sack because Chance sucks.
Shout out.
Damn. Sorry, Chance.
Sorry, Chance.
And Alvin Kamara kind of saved me too, but that's a different story. But, yeah, man, that freaking ball was in the air for like 45 minutes, it felt like. And then I could, like, see Jawan come up out of everybody. I mean, it was just an unreal play.
Mm.
What a time.
I mean, would you say that's your favorite memory?
Brett, you know what your favorite memory is?
What's the funniest favorite memory that we have? What's your fun? I mean, let's.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, that's probably my favorite football memory. That, and I'm telling you, Malik Foreman's play was freaking awesome at Texas A&M.
Let me just – my favorite memory, honestly, my funniest memory was, like, it's my first meeting ever, okay? You guys still don't like me. I don't even know if we've worked out yet. Brett's telling everybody in the locker room that I'm a loser and that everybody should hate me. And which, I mean, no, that's not really – I mean, I don't know what Brett was really up to. He was kind of a kept to himself kind of guy. But anyway – and so we're all sitting in that meeting room, and Mahoney, like, starts looking around, and he's looking around, and, like, he starts asking you guys if he should do it. He's like, should I do it? Should I do it? And I'm like, I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, trying to act like I'm taking notes. Like, obviously I didn't know what was going on. And it's my first meeting. I'm sitting up there. I don't know anyone. None of you. You guys are all assholes. And
you got to earn it, baby.
Yeah, I agree. And he's like, he keeps asking you guys, should I do it? Should I do it? And everybody's like, you know, knows what he's talking about except for me. And then he looks up at me in the middle of the meeting and just goes, who the fuck are you?
That must have felt good.
I just didn't know what to say. I just laughed. Said, Clay.
Clay.
I'm Clay.
All right, boys, we're running low on time. Let's get this question finished up, and then
All right,
Tanner's in a hurry, apparently, boys. So let's
not in a
wrap
hurry.
it up.
I set a time. We're at like 45 minutes. This has been a 45-minute podcast.
We'll keep it under an
cut it.
hour.
You can cut it. You can cut it up and then just take the
Yeah, don't worry. I'll be doing my cuts. It'll be all
No,
right.
let's get one good. Let's get one good funny favorite.
No.
funny
I'm not
story.
saying we got to finish now. I just mean
No, yeah, no, I know. But
caution.
Tom can really ramble sometimes.
Thomas, we have so many good stories.
So many, dude.
Well,
So
we'll be sure to have
way
you
too
guys
many.
on the show again sometime soon too. So
Oh, yeah.
I got mine, Thomas. You
keep
want me
a
to
couple
go?
in
Or
your
you got
back
yours?
pocket.
Yeah, I got you. One more, and then we got it.
You got your story, Tom, or do you want me to go? I got mine.
Go ahead.
All right, my freshman year was the last year that we did this, so Clay never got to experience this. But our freshman year, we had a freshman talent show during camp, and ours was funny. And Thomas wanted to until the nutritionist told us we weren't allowed to. Me, Thomas, Austin Sanders, and Dylan Wiseman. We're just gonna walk up on the stage in front of everybody and rip our shirts off. And I don't know, this isn't even funny. It's just stupid. We're gonna take out a gallon of milk and all drink it until we started throwing up everywhere.
And to put some context in it, Brett, like, you don't know, like, 90% of these people. Like, you've been working out.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's true.
For a
you're
talent
working
show,
out.
your plan was just to drink milk till you puked
And
shirtless.
put trash cans in
Because we
front of
couldn't
us.
think of a funny thing to do. So
That's pretty
Thomas was
funny.
like,
I mean, you thought of a funny thing.
they will die laughing at
Dude,
that.
it would have been the funniest thing ever if we could have done that. Like,
We ended up
imagine-
like using some guys though and making fun of our coaches and making fun of our O-line room. It was funny, but
it would have been so
the
much
best
better.
part of this story is
Oh my gosh.
Marquez North, Riley Ferguson. I think it was just them two, wasn't it, Thomas?
Yeah, I think that. And didn't they have a PowerPoint?
So, and all the freshmen were the only people who knew what was going on, and they had like lied to our coaches about what they were going to do. They get up on stage, man, and
Don't name
they
drop.
made I'm not name dropping anyone, but they remixed the Same Girl song by R. Kelly and who is it? Usher.
Oh
R. Kelly
my
and Usher.
God.
That Same Girl song, and just because of the name of the song, it was about Dre Bowles. They called it Dre's Girl. And so they had wrote out lyrics to the entire song about this girl and so they named it Dre's Girl. And when it got to like the part of it and they were like talking about Dre's Girl, our entire team exploded. Did they not, Thomas?
Yes.
Every single person in that auditorium stood up and was sprinting around the place.
Oh my
and Dre
gosh,
got up and sprinted out the back and went back to the room. But it was easily the funniest thing that we've ever seen.
And the backstory was the reason why the song was written, and that's to the words in the song of the song, or to the words of Same Girl, and is because that's what was happening with Dre's girl. She was being a little slimy, sliding around like a snake.
Dude, you're putting Dre on blast.
That's easy.
No slander here.
Yeah.
No slander
No
here.
slander. Just facts.
We're no slander pod.
Yeah,
Slander.
facts don't care about feelings.
And Thomas, we had to do to be a part of the offensive line at Tennessee. They stopped this now, so we can talk about it. First off, you had to get knocked out, and second off,
Like unconscious?
Yeah, I had to pass out.
yeah, you had to pass out. You have
Sorry,
to
they don't
bend
do it
down,
anymore.
bend down and touch your toes 60 times, and every time you touch your toes, you breathe out. And then after you've done it 60 times, you lean up and hold your breath, and they push on your chest and knock you out.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant like knock you out, like
Yeah,
No, not just
jaw
get punched
you
in
or
the
something.
face. No, you did get that as a freshman though, but
Yeah, you got blanket
Get that in
parties.
practice every day, I'm sure.
blanket partied, and then you had to sing this like gospel song called "Never Would Have Made It" at any time, any place. If Jawan James or like Zach Fulton said, like, Thomas, give me your best, never would have made it. Thomas.
All right. At any time, no matter if you're eating at a restaurant or anything, you have to go, never would have made it. As loud as you can.
It's a song that goes like that, and Dylan Wiseman was in a movie theater. Dylan, give me your best, never would have made it. So those are some good times, man.
Yeah, I've got dude, those are great. There's so
hilarious.
many of them, and you're right. I can come back on here, and we should. I'm gonna write down stories, and I'll just go through them, and we'll go through them quick.
Yeah, no doubt.
So one of my favorite times is when we had a party at our house, and we had a lot of parties at our house. We had a lot of reasons to party. You know,
Those
like
parties
for me,
were sick.
the best parties.
Dude, we had the
ever.
cops there showing people where to park, directing traffic. Like, tell me you've ever heard of anything like that.
Y'all here for the party over at the football player's house? Yeah,
Oh, cool. You
Right
can park over there. Just don't go in front of the stop sign.
Yeah. No, so we had, what I was saying though is we had plenty of reasons to party. Like, dude, especially a guy like me, I'm opportunistic. If you give me one reason to smile, I'm doing it. So this dude Dobbs throws like 6 touchdowns a game. So the whole time, and we live with Dobbs. So like every time I was like, dude, my roommate just scored 6 touchdowns. They're having a party at our house, and then usually it was me convincing Brett and convincing our.
Because I was the one that had to clean.
No, I
So
cleaned
it was what? It
everything.
was you, Brett, and Dobbs, and who else?
Dylan
Lundy
Wiseman
lived there too.
and Lundy.
No
then
way. Lundy?
Last name
Yeah.
Lundy. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's go.
Last
Lundy.
name Lundy.
Shouts out to Lundy.
I mean,
Sorry, Tim.
honestly, that party was just that party in itself. Just like that atmosphere. That was the best part. Just like after you win a game, you're
What are
going
you doing
back to
tonight?
your house.
Going to Dobbs.
Yeah, you're going back to your own house,
Retreat.
and then you just sit there. Maybe your family's there a little bit. You know, you wait for your family to leave. You go to the liquor store. You buy a bunch of Tito's, or actually at this point I was buying Burnett's.
Amsterdam. Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, let's go. It's college. We just won the football game. Let's go. And then literally everyone you'd ever want to be at the party is there, and people you'd have no clue who they
Yes.
are, and people.
So many
Why are you
chicks.
in my house?
Yeah,
girls.
And after the spring football game was our biggest party, we had a bounce house there. Bought it and rented an inflatable bounce
yeah.
house.
that was awesome.
Drunk college people just bouncing up and down.
I was in it
There
at
was
5
so
a.m.
many
I was in
naked
at
girls
5
in
in the morning.
See, I made the
dumb.
mistake
People were
of being
just
in a fraternity instead of playing on the football team in college.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we had all sorts of liability issues with the bounce houses. So you guys had the right
Dude.
idea.
Yeah,
people in there
dude.
slumped the next morning. Wake
Dude,
up at
I wish
9
somebody
a.m.,
would
walk out
say-
there, just people just passed out in there.
Yeah, in
Beautiful.
there. It was beautiful. It was art. It
I
was
remember
beautiful
waking
women.
Thomas up, shaking him in there. Tom, wake up, man.
in where?
The
You
bounce
got a
house.
meeting.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Quick, before we go, is there anything y'all want to plug yourselves or anything like that? Where can we find you on social?
Oh, Brett, go ahead.
B_Ken63 on Twitter and Brett
verified.
K63
Verified.
on Instagram.
He's completely verified, by the way. That's
Check
a real
me
thing.
out.
Okay,
Check me out.
I myself am not verified, but if you follow me, I will verify you as a follower of myself. And I follow me at Big TP Edwards, all social media platforms. I'm releasing some music soon. I also write a bunch of music now. SoundCloud, you can look me up, Thomas Edwards. Do have 2 songs on there.
Man, we're gonna have to get into that some other episode. I didn't even know about all
Yeah,
that.
Tom, why don't you take us out to something?
Oh, take you out? Where do you want to go? You guys ready for it? You want me to take us out real quick?
Yeah, take us
Yeah,
out.
hey,
Take us
yeah.
out. Hey, thank you
Real
guys
quick,
so much
yeah.
for coming
Hey,
on.
dude,
being our
give me some
friends.
John
thanks,
Mayer
guys.
or something.
Thanks a lot.
Slow dancing in the burning room.
Brett, we'll definitely have you guys on again for sure.
Yeah, thanks for having
But,
us.
So, yeah,
guys.
absolutely. It was so
It was
fun.
a pleasure.
No doubt,
We got
guys.
more to
You're-
talk
you're
about.
Friends of the program. We got Brett Kendrick and Thomas Edwards. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, no problem. I'll take us out
Shout
here.
out
This
Section
is a song.
65.
Shout out Section 65, Sports Zone, Garage, Hardcut. Yeah, here we go. This is a song by Kelly Clarkson. Here's the thing. Started out friends. It was cool, but it was
All right,
all
later, guys.
pretend. And
That was our interview with Brett Kendrick and Thomas Edwards. Big thanks to those guys for coming on. Next week is the week. SEC football's back next week. We'll have a big show next Thursday. We'll get into the lines, get into our picks, and it's here. SEC football's here.
Yeah, another big shout out to Brett and Thomas. That was a great interview. If you guys like what we're doing here, like and subscribe the video. Give us a good review. If not, then just act like it never kind of happened. But this is Clay and Tanner, and we're signing off for Section 65, the Garage Guys SEC podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Peace.